Welcome back to another Bolt tutorial. In this video, you're going to learn how to use two very popular JavaScript libraries, Pretext and Three.js, so that you can wrap text around a 3D model. You can even change the position of the model and notice how the text dynamically changes around it. First up, let's learn a little bit about Pretext and some great examples out there of other people using it. So what is Pretext? It's a fast, accurate, and comprehensive text measurement algorithm in pure TypeScript created by Cheng Lu, and you can see it went absolutely viral. In his example, he moves these spheres around the screen and you can see how the text dynamically repositions around them. A huge number of developers on X have taken it under their wing and created some fascinating examples like this one here. Here's another perhaps more useful example showing how these components expand and increase the text size as you hover over each of the boxes. Here's an example of a resume builder using Pretext. And another example using the accelerometer on an iPhone to move the text around the screen. In this tutorial, we're going to use this example created by Robin, where we've got the text behind a 3D model. Using Three.js, the go-to tool for rendering interactive 3D models in the browser like this, you're going to learn how to wrap text around the silhouette of a model. Let's dive in.
Here's our prompt. Build a landing page for the Porsche 911. Under the hero section, add a paragraph explaining the history of the car and a Porsche logo which follows the cursor. The text should use the popular Pretext JavaScript library and adjust its position around the logo as it moves. Now, let's choose the Porsche design system. We're going to put this in plan mode and let's build it out. Here's the plan. Even though this library was only released about a week ago, the Bolt agent was able to do research on it and find exactly the one that we're looking for, Cheng Lu/Pretext, and it will install it via npm. It will generate a cinematic side profile shot with dramatic lighting as the hero image, build the hero section, add Pretext into the history section. It's even considering performance as well. Let's go ahead and implement this plan. The agent's finished and look what it's created. It's generated this gorgeous image of a Porsche 911 using Nano Banana Pro. Now, let's see how this works. So it's a little bit glitchy, but really not bad for a first-time attempt. Let's debug the issue that we're facing. So it seems like the logo is a little bit slow to update to the cursor position, so we can fix that. And also the text is wrapping in a rectangle rather than around the logo itself. Here's our structured prompt. Let's take a screenshot just in case to help the agent. Let's plan this out so that we can see the agent's logic behind the fix and build. Sounds like a pretty good plan. Doubling the size of the logo, changing the rectangular box or a bounding circle, and also pre-computing the baseline height of the section. Let's implement. Let's test this out. Yes, have a look at that, it's working. So the Porsche logo is a little large, the text is now wrapping around a circle, and the footer section isn't causing a layout shift as the text changes in height. This is a great example to show that Pretext is working, but I think we can take our project to the next level. Let's try wrapping the text around a 3D model. Here's our prompt. Add a new section underneath the hero. Please find a 3D model of a Porsche and add this here. It should be large and slowly rotate. Let's put this in plan mode and send it off. The plan looks great, so let's implement it. Wow, have a look at that. It's added a gorgeous Porsche model to our site. We can drag and reposition the model and pan it all around. Now there's a few tweaks I want to make. I want to slow down the rotation and I want to move it in a little bit closer. If we were just prompting for this, it may take a few times. A trick I like to do is add custom sliders into the interface so that you can fine tune the position of the model. Here's our prompt. This looks great. Please add subtle sliders overlaid in the top left of the section, which can change things like camera's XYZ position, model rotation speed, model zoom, and anything else necessary. Perfect. Now we can change the camera position, field of view, rotation speed, and even the shine of the metal and roughness. It's much easier to add this to fine-tune the position rather than going back and forth with the agent. Plus, it saves you tokens. Another trick for these 3D models is that each of the parts are often labeled differently, and the agent is able to give them custom colors and shades. I'll show you what I mean. This looks great, but the entire model is black. Please understand each of the layers which make up this model. Create 3 different variations that I can toggle between in the settings panel to show a red Porsche, a white Porsche, and a yellow Porsche. If the model comes with any default layer colors, add those too. Make sure that the headlights, tires, hubcaps, windows, etc. are all appropriately shaded. The agent's finished working and it's done a great job. It's added yellow, white, and red, and notice how the windows are now clear, hubcaps are shiny, and the tires are colored appropriately. Notice that as we change the model around, it's not actually reflecting this new position. The camera isn't changing, but the model is. We want to have a complete picture of the Porsche's model based on the variables here. So let's add this prompt. Please also add variables for the position of the model so that as I drag and reposition the model, its position is deterministically indicated by the variables in the panel. can explicitly define the position of the camera relative to the model, meaning we can now position the model exactly how we'd like, take a screenshot of these parameters as well, and send them to the Bolt agent so that we can define the camera position for the following animation. Here are screenshots of 3 unique positions of camera angles that I like. Here's our prompt. Using the 3 screenshots of the camera position properties attached, add another set of options in the positioning panel so I can animate between these 3 camera positions. We'll plan it out and build. The Bolt agent has now added a front view, a profile view, and an aerial view. All of these exactly match those 3 screenshots of these properties that I just added as screenshots. Now let's go to X to find some inspiration about some other good examples of how people are using Pretext. Here's a wonderful post that I like, and look how this 3D model is changing to different viewpoints, and then the text is changing dynamically above it. Let's try and implement something like this. Because it's a video, we can't use it as context for our Bolt agent, but we can take screenshots of keyframes along the animation. Now I've added those screenshots from the X post, and here's our prompt. Let's plan it out and build. The agent's finished working and it's implemented the text using Pretext wrapping around the model. Now, as we change between our model views, we can see how the text dynamically changes around the silhouette. The profile looks good. I think the front needs some adjustment, and so does the aerial. To fix this, let's adjust the model placement for both aerial and front, and we're going to resubmit these screenshots to the Bolt agent. Also notice that the text for each of these paragraphs is being contained to its column itself. Instead, I would like it to overflow into the next column if need be. Let's prompt for this too. Okay, so the front position has been updated and it looks a lot better. So has profile, and so has aerial. The final touch is I've noticed that it's leaving triangular gaps like this. Let's prompt a fix. Here's our prompt. Build. Great, now we can see the text fills that gap. I'm happy with this, so let's remove the properties panel and I'm going to reduce the text just to 2 columns. Now it's starting to come together. Have a look, the front view looks good. I like the way that the text is positioned around it. When we change to profile, the text dynamically moves around the bonnet of the Porsche, and aerial works as well with our color pickers. Now, obviously there's more that you could do to this design, such as bringing back in the slow rotate. Just be aware that you don't want the text moving too much when the user is trying to read it. Also, instead of adding buttons to change between the Porsche's position, you could use a page scroll to trigger these animations. So there we go. In this video, you've learned how to use the popular Pretext JavaScript library so that your text can dynamically move around elements on the page or even the silhouette of a 3D model. We've used the Three JavaScript library to bring in this model and shade it appropriately. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial today, and if there's any other content you'd like to learn about, please leave it in the description below and we'll do our best to get to it. And with that, good luck implementing Pretext and Three JavaScript library into your project.